Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Chief Justice criticized during judges' conference over the recommendation of the appointments of the judges. Demand to annul the Judicial Council prevails. Intra-party integration of the ruling Nepal Communist Party suffers persistent delay. Madhav Kumar Nepal panel warns of forming parallel committees in 42 districts. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will annex Jewish settlements in the occupied West Bank if he is re-elected. And Manchester City advanced to the finals of the FA Cup, defeating Brighton 1-0. Will face either Wolves or Watford in the title decider. The third conference of the country's judges, held for 3 days in the capital, concluded on Friday, issuing a 29-point declaration paper. The Constitution, implementation of Civil Code, management of cases, and judicial good governance were the major agenda at the summit. However, the summit this time was more centered on criticism of the judicial leadership. Many justices even demanded of scrapping the Judicial Council, citing that the entity's significance simply ended during the recommendation of the justices at the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Despite discussions held in separate groups, most of the judges expressed more interest in the Judicial Council and the recent activities of the judicial leadership. They criticized Chief Justice Cholendra Samsher Rana for the share in both the levels without considering reputation, qualification, and experience, attempt to hand over the bench to committed political cadres, and the promotion of disputed figures from district to high court. A few judges said that the ethical judges were very disappointed due to rampant corruption in the judiciary. Supreme Court Justices Ishwar Khatiwada, Anil Sinha, Bishambar Shrestha, among others, said that the leadership must withdraw the decision or resign. They said that they could not work at the same bench with the recently recommended judges. The judges at the district and high courts also noted that despite a few good steps by Chief Justice Rana in the early stage, his recent activities failed to live up to his promises. Former Supreme Court Chief Justices are of the opinion that the leadership must have the capacity of correcting their decisions following criticisms from the justices at an official forum. The demand of judges themselves to scrap the Judicial Council, which was conceptualized with the objective of maintaining judicial freedom, must be taken seriously. The ruling Nepal Communist Party Secretariat meeting has stated that although the responsibility to prepare the draft for the intra-party integration was given to the party's chairman duo KP Sharma Oli and Pushpakamal Dahal, there have been unexpected delays. Meanwhile, the party's Madhav Kumar Nepal faction has warned of establishing parallel committees in 42 districts if it is not satisfied with the reports prepared by the chairman duo. The Nepal faction has also warned that if the chairman duo do not select the prior office bearers and instead replace them with new ones for the leadership, it would bring disputes within the party. The faction has already directed its party heads in 42 districts to be prepared to create parallel committees if the chairman duo do not come up with an agreeable draft for integration. Although there has been unification between the then CPN-UML and then Maoist Center, integration remains to be done with the district committees, departments, and sister organizations. Meanwhile, Nepal Communist Party Secretariat member Ishwar Pokhrel, who has been providing suggestions to Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli regarding the integration, says although the draft for the intra-party integration will be presented by the chairman duo, it has to be approved by the party's standing committee. It has almost been a year since the two big parties have been unified. However, the party leaders have remained undecisive in assigning district leaders. The party leaders are busy trying to give the responsibilities to those close to their faction and attain a secure leadership through the General Convention, which has strengthened distrust rather than unification. The Central Committee meeting of Nepali Congress failed to take place yesterday due to the lack of consent between Party President Sherbahadur Deuba and Senior Leader Ramchandra Paudel regarding the membership share for the Work Audit Committee. The meeting was called yesterday afternoon at the Nepali Congress Party office in Sanipa to formulate the Work Audit Committee. However, party president Deuba did not even reach the party office. Polarization persists on the number of members in the committee representing the Deuba and Podel factions. The Podel faction has been demanding 40% membership in the 29-member committee. Agreement also remains to be forged regarding the management of the Krishna Prasad Sitola faction, which is in favor of Podel. Despite Deuba being ready to arrange 40% for the Podel faction by including Sitola, Podel is yet to agree. The Work Audit Committee is considered the most powerful in Nepali Congress after its Central Committee. A new date for the Central Committee meeting of the main opposition is yet to be decided. Welcome back. The plight of the storm victims in Bara and Parsa districts has worsened following the onset of sporadic rainfall and thunderstorms. The disaster has rendered hundreds of victims in both the districts homeless, while many of them are in agony of losing their loved ones in the calamity. The rain has further added to their plight, as most of the victims are still compelled to live under the open sky due to the lack of temporary shelters. The victims are worried if the available tents for shelter would also be blown away by the continued winds. The aftermath of the disaster has turned even more painful with the onset of the rainfall, especially for the vulnerable ones like children, elderly, women, and people with illnesses. Welcome back. It has been almost 2 years since the local level elections were held. The assessment and comments regarding the performance of the local levels have increased in recent days. In this context, we had asked the locals of Dareldhura district how satisfied they were with the performance of the local authorities. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
Budgeting गर्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ तेरो चाहिँ विकास बजेटमा हाल्दिन्छु र कति % खाने खुल्लम खुल्ला बहस र खुल्लम खुल्ला बार्गेनिङ भएको हुनाले यो इतिहासकै सबैभन्दा ठुलो ब्रह्मलुट भएको व्यवस्था भएको चाहिँ मैले महसुस गरेको छु।
अहिलेको यो विकासका निमित्त कुरा गर्ने हो भने तिनीहरू आफ्नो वरिपरिको मान्छेहरूलाई सिफारिस पनि गर्ने विकासका बजेटहरू पनि तिनीहरूका नाममा पुग्ने।
वडा कार्यालयले हामीलाई सबतिर तुरुन्त पुर्याएको छ, जिबुडोती दिएको छ, गोरेटबाटको पनि सहयोग सबतिर रहेको छ, स्कुल बनाएको छ, पानी पुर्याएको छ।
नगरपालिकामा गएर नि कबै कोही नभेटी कबै आज भोलि भन्ने कुरा टाढी राखेका हुन्छन्।
ठुलो धुवाबाट पनि रहेको छैन, हामी चाहिँ धेरै बिरामी परिरहेका छौँ। बाटै बनाउन सकेका छैन, मेन यो सदरमुकामको बाटै बनाउन सकेका छैन। गाउँतिरको हालत के होला?
बाल विकासमीको लगाए त्यो टोयलेट दिउनु भइरहेको थियो, त्यो पनि दिएको छ, सबतिर बनाएको छ।
विगतमा जुन स्थानीय तहले निकायहरूले जुन कामहरू गरिराखेका थिए करिब त्यही किसिमको उ छ र ठुलो काम गरेको मैले देखेको छैन।
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question. What should be done to expand the commercialization of coffee farming? Your options are A, increase investment, B, emphasize on generating manpower, and C, incorporate technologies. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Manchester City have advanced to the finals of the FA Cup, defeating Brighton 1-0. In the semi-final played at Wembley last night, Gabriel Jesus gave Manchester City an early 1-0 lead by scoring in the 4th minute of the match. Jesus scored through a header utilizing a cross by Kevin De Bruyne. Both teams couldn't score any more goals in the remainder of the match, and Jesus' goal turned out to be the deciding goal in Manchester City's 1-0 win over Brighton. The winner of the other semi-final between Wolves and Watford will face Manchester City in the finals of the FA Cup. And now back home, Cameroon's Dolphins Club has lifted the Duhabi Gold Cup, defeating Trivandrum Army Club 8-7 in sudden death. In the final played at Duhabi Stadium in Sunsari yesterday, the match ended in a goalless stalemate after 90 minutes of regulation play. The match then went into a penalty shootout and then had to be decided in sudden death. Dolphins Club won the final after the penalty kick taken by Bharat Khawas missed the target. By claiming the title, Dolphins Club bagged 600,000 rupees in cash prize. Runners-up Trivandrum Army Club had to settle for 300,000 rupees. This was Dolphin Club's 5th title this season. Prior to this, the club had won the Mankamana, Tilotama, Burasubba and My Valley Gold Cup tournaments. Mumbai Indians thrashed Sunrisers Hyderabad by 40 runs at the Indian Premier League after Alzari Joseph's record-breaking performance of grabbing 6 wickets by leaking only 12 runs. In the match played at Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium in Hyderabad last night, Mumbai Indians were put into bat first after losing the toss. Mumbai posted a total of 136 runs in the allotted 20 overs, losing 7 wickets. Kieron Pollard top scored for Mumbai with an unbeaten 46 off just 26 balls, while Quinton de Kock contributed 19 runs. Siddharth Kaul, who claimed 2 wickets, was the leading wicket taker for Hyderabad. Chasing a total of 137 runs for victory, Hyderabad were bowled out after scoring only 96 runs in 17.4 overs. Deepak Huda, who scored 20 runs, was the top scorer for Hyderabad, while Manish Pandey contributed 16 runs and David Warner added 15. Alzari Joseph was the pick of the Mumbai bowlers, who grabbed a record-breaking 6 wickets at the expense of only 12 runs. Today's first Indian Premier League match features a clash between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Delhi Capitals, while Rajasthan Royals will play against Kolkata Knight Riders later tonight. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good morning.